Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be looking through XSS vulnerabilities. In the last video, we set up our Ubuntu machine with the new with the little repository that I was working on. I made a few updates. Let's figure out how to update that repository on our local machine or on our server and get that to work. Now, let me go to my home directory. There's a my cyber notes. That's the repository I cloned. If I changed my directory to that and I run git pull, it'll bring in all the updates that I've made to the repository. Next, you copy all the files and folders recursively into our www HTML. This will copy everything, and you may see an error in the error.logs that the SQLite database, which let me show you. Yes, there is a SQLite database here, and PHP may not be able to write into that because the permissions for the parent directory may not be correct. I have changed the permissions to www data, and if you want to know how, you just run chown www data. This is the user and the group, both of which will be www data for this example, and I executed that for all the files in the parent directory, which is web hacking. Okay, now that that's out of the way, you will see this if everything is proper, and we're going to look at stored XSS first. Now, as you can see, I've made this simple web page. I can post anything here. For example, please subscribe as a message. If I hit comment, it'll put it in the database and then show the contents of the database to me here. If I were to reload this page or exit this web page and then go back, it's getting the database contents regardless. So it's storing all the contents that I send it in a database and it's retrieving it later. Now, XSS is a vulnerability where you send client-side scripts or JavaScript essentially in script tags and you get it to execute on the browser of the victim. So if I were to, for example, use h1, that's an HTML tag, and put some text in here, and I post this, and a secure application would either escape this, so this doesn't execute as proper HTML, or it just get rid of this entry. What happens in an insecure application is I get the h1 tag acting as an h1 tag. It's bigger here, and if I look at the inspect element part of all this, I see that we have an h1 tag and rendering as proper HTML. Now, this isn't useful in itself, but what is useful for exploitation is if I run a script tag, I have a script, let's say let element equals document dot, I'm going to try and change this text here, get elements by tag name, and this is an h1 tag. And I try to, also this will return an array, so I have to keep that in mind. Element dot anor HTML, anor text, let's say, equals please subscribe. End the script. I am able to change the content of the website, and I'm able to manipulate the website using my scripts and using my user input. So that's that's an example of stored XSS. Let us now look at reflected XSS. Let me go back to the main homepage. Now click on reflected XSS, and we have this name search over here. Let me try to find any name starting with J, for example. It returns John, it returns Jeff. If I send an empty string, there's nothing to search. How about a H, a P, not found in database. Now, as you can see, if I try to send random input and I can't find it in the database, it'll give me the input and then not found in the database. Now, this is where reflected XSS comes in. In an insecure application, if I were to try and send HTML, give it some content, and I search, it renders as proper HTML, but it doesn't store in a database. This is just part of an error message, and if I were to refresh without this parameter here, there's nothing to bring back. So let me try to now exploit it. I'm going to run a script. Do this. This is a apt example. Script alert hello. This will give you a pop-up window that says hello, and then end the script tag. If I search, as you can see, we have code execution for JavaScript. So again, this is an XSS vulnerability, but this is reflected because it doesn't actually get stored in a database. So that is all for this video today. We looked at two XSS vulnerabilities. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.